Welcome to my channel, Samora Izuroni. Thanks for watching this. So it is actually night where I am. You can see right now I just want to connect some bulbs here. What we want to do today is a method of making a connection to a motor, and that method is called the forward reversed connection method. So what we're going to do, I will give you the procedure. So today we are going to do the theory, the procedure of what to do when connecting the forward reverse method. The way you will connect it until you reach the farthest point. So first thing, do this. You have your three phases. Remember, from what we're going to do, you must have, let's say we are dealing with a three-phase connection. That is what we're working on. So what you do, let's say you have something like you have your cutouts. You have the three cutouts. You've connected them to the power source. So the power source, the connection from the power source, they have three phases. So the three phases, you connect them to the three cutouts that you have. So let's say you have two cutouts and one double cutout. So you connect them there plus the neutral. After connecting the neutral there plus the three phases, what you do, that is like the incoming from the power source. So from the power source, do this, up we are there. So it means from the power source, you've connected the red, yellow, and blue plus the neutral. So this neutral, actually, if you have it, connect it to a certain terminal there on the double cutout. Done that. So we'll do this again. From the cutout, come to the distribution board. Come to your distribution board. In your distribution board, these are the things you will find. You will find the MCBs, that is miniature circuit breakers. Another one, you will find the TPN, that is triple neutral switch. Another one, you will find the circuit breakers for doing the lightings, because even where you're connecting your solar, there must be light. So what you do first, using your three phases from the cutout, bring the output, the three phases, bring the output to the distribution board. On your distribution board, there is what we call the MCBs. So on your MCBs, connect the terminals, the three phases to your MCBs. There are three terminals, so if you're connecting your MCBs, you'll be connecting your phases to the MCBs plus the neutral. Hope you've done that. Next thing that we're going to do, from your MCBs, connect them to your TPN. Connect them to your TPN, the three phases to your TPN. Don't connect the neutral. The neutral, just leave it there in MCBs. What you connect are the three phases, the way they are. So the outgoing, remember if you have your MCBs, there are three terminals. Both this side has three terminals, the other side has three terminals. So let's say this is the incoming. You've connected your three phases. The three phases you connected, that is the incoming. The outgoing also terminate three phases to go. That is the outgoing. So the outgoing three phases, connect them to the TPN. TPN also, you have the terminals like that. Connect them. After connecting to them to the TPN, that is the triple neutral switch. What you do, hope you've done that. Next thing you do, on your TPN there, we are now going to the contactors. So contactors, remember contactors we have are two. We have two contactors. So one is going to act as the forward contactor. The other one will act as the reverse contactor. Another way, you can say this is the main one, you take to be main contactor, the other one to be the reverse contactor, I mean. So from the TPN, connect the three phases to your contactor. There are three terminals there. Connect your three phases to the contactor. So the one you've taken to be your forward contactor, it must have the overload relay. In short, it is most written OL, that is the overload relay. It must have the overload relay. So if connect that overload relay to the contactor, most of them you'll find they are already connected. So what you do on your overload relay, there are 3 terminals. Don't mess this. Don't connect the faces on the auxiliary contact or on the auxiliary contact. I mean, don't connect them to the auxiliary contact or don't connect them there. What you do on your auxiliary contact, there are other terminals below the overload. On the overload, there are some terminals there. Don't look at that thing, that the auxiliary contact or the hold-on contact that is up. Still on the overload relay, there are some terminals there. So there, so you connect your 3 phases. After connecting your 3 phases, do this twice. Just stop from there. What it is now very simple. Remember, on your contactor, there are some incoming phases. There were 3 incoming phases. Maybe one was representing, maybe this is red, yellow, blue. So this is your forward contactor or your main contactor. Remember, we were having 2 contactors. So loop these 3 phases to the other contact, that is the reverse contact. Loop the 3 phases to the other contactor. After looping, that is well done. Hope you've looped them just according to your indications, the phases. After that, do this on the reversed contactor. There are some phases there, okay? So on the reverse contactor, what you do is very simple. You interchange the phases. It means where let's say these are your terminals. Let's say this was blue. This is your blue. So your blue, when interchange the phases to mean where there is blue, interchange maybe with the red, but let's yellow remain. Or you interchange only 2 phases. So blue on the auxiliary contact, maybe take it from blue here, take it to the auxiliary contact of the main contactor, maybe take it to red. We are interchanging the phases. That is why we are talking about the forward reverse. So on the blue of your reverse contactor, take the phase there. That is for the outgoing. Remember, on the reverse contactor, you've linked the incoming from the main contactor. So the outgoing are the ones you take to the overload of the main contactor. So what you do to the outgoing of the reverse contactor, you linked them to the overload, the phases on the overload relay of the main contactor, but you interchange the phases. So where there is blue, you interchange with red. Interchange does not mean you take away red. No, what you do is simple. This was your reverse contactor. So let's say this is blue. When you want to link it with the faces, one of the faces on the overload relay of the main contactor, take it to red. Okay. Let's say this is yellow. You only interchange only 2 phases. So let's say yellow, just take it to yellow. But now red, take it to blue of the overload, on the overload of the main contactor. After doing that, take the phases to the motor. On the motor, the motors are always different. So make sure when you're working on the motor, you check the nameplates. So the nameplate, the plate there has some of the things that will guide you when you're connecting something to the motor. So one thing to check which type of motor am I dealing with. Is it a 3-phase motor? It is written there on a plate. You will actually know whether you're dealing with a 3-phase motor or a single-phase motor. Another one, check the connection that is required there. It is written just there on the nameplate. So it may be they want you to connect it maybe on a star connection or on a delta connection. So how to know whether the information on a nameplate requires you to make it on a star connection or a delta connection, what you do on your connection, on your nameplate, is a place written connection Y. So Y stands for the star connection. So when you are told to connect it on a star connection, remember the phases we have taken from the overload of the main contactor or the forward contactor. We have taken the phases into the motor. In the motor there, so let's say we are dealing with a motor of a star connection, you will find the first one is written, there are 3 terminals down, and on the upper one also there are 3 terminals on a motor. We're dealing with a motor. So on the lower terminals, the first terminal on the lower terminal, you might find it is U1, then followed by V1, then maybe W1. If you check at the upper terminal, you'll find the first terminal on the upper terminal is W2, then U2, then V2. That one when you're working on a star connection. So when you want to start this, what you do on a motor, just be in a motor, don't interfere with all those that we have tackled. On a motor there, just link them horizontally. Link them. Take a cable and link them horizontally. So you can link from any of the terminal. You can start with the one on the end, but on the upper terminal you link them. Remember, on the lower terminal you've already terminated. So on the upper terminal, do very simple. Take your cable and link them horizontally. Don't link them this way on the terminal. Link them horizontally. Remember, we have the lower terminal and the upper terminal. So link them horizontally. You can link this way. You link to the other terminal. So after that, we've finished just connection to the motor. Now, there are also some control circuits we've not talked about. That is what we want to talk about. So on your auxiliary contact, there's something called the interlock. Just check on your main contactor. On your main contactor there's what we call the interlock. So the interlock, most of the time you will find it is written, they're normally closed, NC meaning normally closed, and then so you can terminate any in the interlock there. So what is going to happen on your overload? Let's not go so far. Let's go in order. You've terminated into the motor. You started there on a motor. You've made a star connection on a motor there. Stop there. Let's go procedurally. Let me take you to come to the overload relay of the main contactor or your forward contactor. On the overload relay there's a place written 95, 96 and others. So make one cable, terminate it in 95. Since we want to make the power on the overload relay, the one remember you terminated something on 95 actually, not 96, 95. Terminate on 95. Then what you do is very simple. Check one of your termination, one of your connection. Remember, one you connected to, you terminated on 95. So the one you terminated in 95, take it, connect it to any of the phases. You can take phases from the contactor here, you can take the phases from the TPN, ESCBs, anyway, so long as you take a phase. So connect it to one of the phases. So instead of wasting time, connect it to one of the phases on the main contactor. Don't choose any phase. Choose either yellow, red, or green. So let's say you've chosen red face, you've terminated into red face of maybe the main conductor. Good. So we finished with 95 and one of the phases you've terminated. Meaning you've taken from 95, then you've linked with one of the phases. Good. The next thing, terminate one on 96. So after terminating on 96, still on the overload relay, remember we have 95 and 96, so terminate another cable on 96. The cable you've terminated on 96, take it to or transfer it to 1 over stop button, which is normally closed. The stop button arrow is normally closed, so take it to 1 over stop button that is normally closed. After that, remember a stop button has 2, so it has 1 and 2. So after terminating it into normally closed, that is 1, written 1, take another cable on 2, terminate one of the cable you've terminated on 2, then transfer it to 3 over start button, which is always normally opened. After that, we are now on a start button. Remember, stop button we've terminated on from 96, we brought to 1 over stop button, then we've taken another cable from 2 over stop button to 3 over start button. So we finish with the stop button. We are now on a start button. On a start button, very simple. We are on 3. So you've terminated on 3 over start button. On 3 over start button, we're going to have 2 cables. So one we're going to transfer from 3 on a start button, transfer to 13 of the main contact. There's a place there written 13, transfer it. So one of 3 of the start button, transfer to 13 of the main contactor. Yes, I hope you've done so. So another 3 still on the start button. Remember, we are going to have around 3 buttons. We are going to have 3 buttons. So another 3 still on the start button, transfer to another start button. Remember, we have 2 start buttons. So transfer it to another one. You can use start button or stop button, so it depends on the way you arrange the cells. So it's good maybe to use start button or start button. So 3 on the start button, transfer to 3 of another start button. That is okay. We are now on another start button, the other start button. We finish with the start button from the main contact or the forward contactor. So another start button you're dealing with, you transfer the 3 to the other start button. So this start button we're dealing with, that is the one for reversed contactor, the one we're using to reverse the operation. On 3 of the start button of the reversed contactor, take it to 13 of the reversed contact, not main contact, reversed contact or contactor 2. Depends on the way you want to arrange your work. 13 of the reversed contactor. So we finished with the start button. Still on the start button, we finished with 3 on the start button of reversed contact. Still on, now we are from 3, we are going to 4. On 4, still on the start button for reverse contactor, take it to 14. Take it to 14 of the reverse contactor. Then the other one we were having other start button also we have 4. Take it to the 14 of the forward contactor. Hope you've done so. Thanks. Thank you very much for doing so. We've reached there. So these two start buttons, both one is for contactor or main contactor, the other one is for contactor 2. You've taken four from start button of a main contactor to 14 of a main contactor. This side also you've taken 4 of a forward reverse contactor to 14 of a forward reverse contactor. Good. Let's deal with let's finish first with the 14 of the main contactor. So from 14 of the main contactor, we take it to the interlocked. So that is why we are talking about the interlock. We take it to the interlock, and I said interlock is normally closed. So terminate it. You will find most of the interlock is either 71 to 72 or 21 to 22. So it depends with the interlock you are again. So let's say terminate it. So the one from 14 terminate to maybe 71 or 72. So you can use one to be incoming and the one to be outgoing. So from 14, take it to 71 or 72. Let's say you're using 71, so take it to 71. Remember I said it can be 71, 72 or 21, 22. So take it to 71 on the interlocked, at the interlocked there, which is normally closed. So check place written normally closed. Remember we are still dealing with the main contactor. We are not dealing with the second contactor or contactor 2 or reversed contactor. We are still here on the main contactor. So 14 on the main contactor, you've taken it to the interlocked, still on the main contactor. 71, done. That's okay. 72, that is now the outgoing. Remember, incoming was 71. So the outgoing is 72. 72, still on the main contactor. Take it to A1 of the reverse contact or contactor 2. A1 is like a coil on a contactor. Good. Let's do the same on the other one. 14 of the forward reverse contactor. Hope we are there. Check it. Yeah. So 14 of the forward reverse contactor. Good. Take it to the interlock. Take it to the interlock. Take it to the interlock of the main contactor. Take it to the interlock of the main contactor. Yes, that is okay. You've taken it to 14 of a reverse contactor. You've taken to the interlock of the main contactor, normally closed. Let me pardon. Let me repeat them very well. I'm repeating them very well. On your main contactor, you have place written 14. On your main contactor, there's a place written 14. Take 14 of the main contactor. 14 of the main contactor. 14. So there's a place written 14. Pick that 14 on the main contactor. Transfer it to the interlocked. The interlock of the reverse contactor, which is normally closed. It is written normally closed. So take it to a normally closed on the interlock. The interlock, it is written 71, 72. So let's say you're using 71. Take it to 71 on the contactor 2. Contactor 2, which is a reversed contactor. On the interlock, normally closed, written 71 or 21, so it depends what you're using. 71, that is like the incoming. The outgoing is from, outgoing is you take to the other side, maybe 72, still on the reverse contact. Still on the reverse contact. So you've taken 72, that is now the outgoing. Take to the A1 of the main contact. Bring it back to the A1 of the main contact. So we finished with that. We come to the other count, the 14 of the reverse contact. Take it to the interlock of the main contact or the forward contactor, which is 71. Just take it the same, so don't mess up. 71 or 21, which is normally closed. I'm talking about the interlock of the main. Welcome back again. So we want to, before we connect the indicators, we want to know how there's a part remaining. Remember, when your connection, there's a place you left the neutral. So all the neutrals connect all the A2s together, both of the contactors. Connect this A2 with the other A2, connect them together, both A2s. Connect those A2s together, A2 of the forward contactor and the reverse contactor, bring them together. Meaning, you link them or you loop them. So it depends on the language you're using. You loop them together, link them together. Then after linking them, there's a neutral you connected on the MCBs there. Connected to that neutral. So all the A2s are linked with the neutrals and transferred back to the source. They move that way. We've connected our neutrals plus the A2, so we are done with that. There's a connection we're remaining with. That is, we're talking about now the indicators. So on indicators, that is a very critical place. On the indicators, you may be having three showing red, yellow, green. Yeah, red, yellow, green, something like that. But let's say that is another kind of indicator. But let's say the indicator you're using is having two, that is the yellow and maybe the red. When you want to connect, check inside the indicator. One, if you check at that green indicator, inside it there are two terminals, one for live, another one is for neutral. If you check another, that your red indicator 2 is having the live and the neutral. Very simple. Do this. Take neutral on take neutral on a green indicator at a terminal, on a green indicator. Connect it to the terminal on a green indicator. Pick neutral. Take neutral on a terminal of a green indicator. Connect it to neutral of a terminal on a red indicator, the one showing in red. Meaning you loop them together. The neutral for green and the one for red, link them together. If you're done, that's okay. We have now there are two terminals remaining. The one for the lives, okay? Terminate them. Terminate live for stop and the one for start. Terminate them. After terminating it, you've terminated them. That's okay. So take one. You can take it anywhere. You can take it to A1 of a contactor, so it depends with the one you want to show that the next contactor is working. So take one live of an indicator to A of any contact. But remember, if you take live of one contact of an indicator, you take to maybe a forward contactor or the main contact, A1 of the main contactor. The other live remaining, you take to the other contact. So it means both of them are going to get the power. So take one live of an indicator, take to A1 of any contactor. The other one also do it like that. Take live of the indicator, take to A1 of another contact. That's okay. We have finished the termination over an indicator. Just as a reminder, 71, 21, or 72, they are different. They're not specifically just that way. They do differ, but what you should understand in terms of interlocked, just take it anywhere, in any place. When you're dealing with the interlock, it is not a must you must take it to 71. Just check a place region normally closed on the interlock there. If you want to know where the interlock is there in the auxiliary contact, you will see that there. On auxiliary contact, you will see an interlock. It is just there. We finished the connection of the controls. The controls, we are talking about the push buttons and the indicators. We have done that. We have also finished the connection of the motor. Now on a motor, we finished the connection. Now do this. Check whether your motor is working. We finished everything. That is what we call the forward reversed connection. Now, if you press, if you push the start button, that was going to work to indicate, maybe stands for the main conductor or the forward conductor. If you push it, what should be happening is that there should be an indication there at the lamps. The lamps should be lighting. One of the lamps on the indicator there should be lighting, meaning showing that the motor is actually operating. Same, the stop button, if you push the stop button, it will automatically stop. So if you want to operate the other start button, you push. If you push, the other lamp will be lighting to show that the motor is operating. But don't do this. Don't push the start button and at the same time you want to push the other start button. No, they can't work that way. It means at the time you are pushing the first start button, remember you are pushing a button, at the time you are pushing a start button which is normally closed. Let's say it was normally closed. The normally open contact will be closed. So it means the current will be flowing. At the same time, the normally closed contact or the normally closed contact of the forward reversed will be open. It means it will not be allowing the energy to it will not allow the energy to allow the current to pass through. That is why if you push the start button and you push the other one, you will find it is either shaking another way, so it means it can't work. You only work with one at a time. Another thing, you can do the continuity test. You may be testing, you may be working on a motor and you're not sure whether the problem is my connection or the problem is the motor. Use this is it multimeter or voltmeter, the one for measuring or testing the continuity test. You can use it to check the continuity test. So when you're doing a continuity test and you find that there is a sound produced after doing that continuity test, it means it is working. So the problem maybe is your connection, or at the time you are making a seat, the seat you did not make a seat properly. That is for today. Thanks you very much. If this was helpful for you, please subscribe there so that we support each other. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have a good day, have a good day, and have a good day. Bye. Next time. So the next thing which will be happening, the next one will, remember this was just the procedure and the procedure on what you're supposed to do. So the next will be the real practical and confirmation whether the motor is running. So remember, when you're connecting a motor, it will be running both forward and reversed, depending with the how the push buttons you're using. Thank you.